Hey everybody, welcome into the 8th episode of the Boiled Up Podcast. Today we finally have a real guest on our show, Mr. Stefan Logan. Stefan, welcome, man. Thanks for coming on. It means a lot to us, man.
Man, thanks for having me on the show, man. Welcome.
So, for those of you who don't know, Stefan, he's a former NFL running back. Although I honestly remember you with your electric kick returns, man. That's how I mostly remember you, man. Oh my gosh, every time they kick off to you, every time you had the ball, I was like, this man could easily score. And you
I was trying to, man. I was trying every time.
Yeah. So Stefan played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, my team, for 1 year. He played for the Detroit Lions for the rest of his career. And he also played professionally for the CFL, for the BC Lions, Montreal, and the Ottawa Red Blacks. And now, currently, you are the running backs coach of Lock Haven University. So congratulations. You're just starting that new position now, right?
Yes, I am. I am. And I am very appreciative of getting the opportunity to go straight from football right to coaching. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, they're lucky to have a guy like you, a guy who's had actual, big time NFL, CFL experience in there with all those college kids helping them out.
That make a big difference. It does make a big difference. I mean, just having a little bit of background, playing football for a long time is kind of like an easy transition for me, just to go from playing football, still fresh.
Yeah, you just retired last season. Last year was your final year, yeah.
Yeah, correct? In November, yeah. I just retired.
Yeah, exactly. So you're fresh out of the gate. You're like all with the, like a lot of times you might get an old coach who might be old in the past, doesn't know the current game as well. But no, they're going to be getting somebody.
I'm fresh out the gate, man. Ready.
All right. Well, again, thanks for coming on, man. So obviously, we just got to start off right here at the first time. So how's your quarantine been going, man?
Oh man, this quarantine has been pretty rough on me. It's been rough on my family, and man, we just taking a day one day at a time. My dad passed away April 9th during this quarantine, during the COVID-19, and it took a toll on us, but we taking it one day at a time. But there's a lot of people that's dealing with a whole lot of issues, but we doing the best we can with it. Washing our hands, wearing the mask, and all the other good stuff. So only thing you can do right now is just wait and be patient and let everything pass over, so we can get on with our lives.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, my grandfather, he's been in and out of the hospital, not with COVID symptoms, but it's just a really tough time now for everybody. But
yes, it is very, very.
And I think what we got to think, you're right. We got to just see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're gonna things will be good again. We have to just all believe that.
Right. Everybody's got to be patient right now. A lot of people rushing the process, and if you think about it, there's a process. The government, they shut everything down. So I mean, what can you do? I mean, you want to go out there and get sick. We got kids. I got kids. My two oldest, they got asthma. So I'm not going to rush them to get back out there to go to school, be around a whole bunch of people, get sick, playing football. Just stuff like that. So I'd rather them be here, home, safe with me, before I let somebody else get them sick. I'll make sure they're good.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I know what you mean, because I have asthma as well, so I know where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. And if you get an asthma attack, it's pretty serious. Knock on wood. I haven't had a chance to really experience it. I just seen like on YouTube, because I like to like kind of like do like my research before if anything happened, I want to know what to do, what I not to, what I need to do. So we got to take care of that and make sure we take care of our kids and make sure we take care of ourselves at the same time.
Exactly. Those are pretty wise words there. People got to listen to that. It's preaching.
Yes, sir.
There. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're gonna get into your career here to start here. So we know obviously you were an NFL and a CFL player, but what are you going to use from your career playing as a current coach right now at Lock Haven?
You know what? When I thought about it, it's a few things that I'm gonna take with me to, from coaching, just from some of the coaches that I've had in my previous years, and, what they taught me about football, even though I was, coming to the game, I'm older than most guys when they came in. I was already, 20.
Yeah, you were 28, 29?
Yeah, I was like, when I first came into the NFL, I was like 27, 28 years old. So I had already came with a little bit of experience, but they always say, man, a good listener is a good learner. So, I was willing to learn. I always wanted to learn new things. I always wanted to learn new systems. I always wanted to learn, just the little basic things about football. So, when I had a chance to meet with my position group, I had a few things wrote on the board. I said, we're going to have fun in this group. We're going to communicate in this group. We're not going to be snitching in this group. And we're going to go out there and have fun when we're playing this game. And we're going to work hard. But just know, at the same time, I'm not one of them type of coaches that's going to be down your back, cussing you out. I'm not going to do all that. Like, I know how that is as a player. So I'm not going – some stuff I'm not going to add to my game when I saw some coaches do. I want my players to come and talk to me about whatever it is. Like, you can tell me about whatever it is, whether it's family, whether you're emotional about something, whether it's a girl you're dealing with, whatever it is. I want to be that father figure, that counselor, that pastor if you needed me to be, just a friend. Whatever you need me to do, that's the type of coach I want to be.
Yeah, especially at school when you're away from family, you need some people sometimes. So it's great of you to be more than just a coach for them.
Right. And that's something that I had one of my matter of fact, my coach in Detroit, Sean Jefferson, he's the wide receiver coach now for the Jets. That's how he was for us. And that was something that I kind of took that and, put it up under my wing. And I said, man, you know what? I'm going to take that with me if I ever become a coach one day, which I always said I was.
Yeah, you're good. You're the right guy to be coaching after your career. Not there's sometimes there's players come out and aren't as good coaches, but I think you're going to do a very good job.
I appreciate it.
But I got to ask sorry, Justin, this is your question.
So
my bad.
You played with some pretty impressive, talented guys throughout your career here, but what was it like playing with Calvin Johnson? Because he's like one of the elite receivers in football history.
He was how would they say, he was kind of like supernatural, just watching somebody that was a frame, a 6'5" frame that was 235 to 240 pounds. And when I say he was a very humble guy, but he was a dog out there on that field. Like, and it's crazy because he did a lot of stuff on his own. Like, he would spat his own shoes, he would spat his own wrists, do his own fingers and everything. And he was kind of like one of those guys where he never wanted the scene. He never wanted to be in a big crowd. He never wanted the camera to be on him. He always wanted to just be, by himself. He gonna go to work. He gonna practice hard. He just want to come back in the locker room. He's not gonna say much. He's just gonna smile and laugh, and that's gonna be the end of it. So, but watching him work, me and Nate Burleson, we still good friends. And me and him was talking about this when I was at his house a couple months ago, and just watching him work, it was unbelievable. Some of the stuff that he did at 6'5", and I'm 5'6".
Yeah, you're short.
To watch him run a 6-yard to an 8-yard route and get in and out his breaks and still have time to catch the ball, it was impressive. He was a very good, humble dude, and he was very quiet. And I mean, it was a pleasure, being on the field, sharing the same field with him, sharing the same locker room, which his locker was like 2 lockers down from me. And like I said, he was just, he'd give you whatever he had, And he was just a humble dude, man. I take my hat off to him because I really appreciate being out there on the field with him.
That's awesome. Sure. It sounds like he was such a great guy and kind of like humble about it. He wasn't a guy that kind of just played for the fame. He more so played for the love of the game.
He did. It wasn't even about the fame for him. It was all about, what can he do to help the team win? And that's what he was all about. So, stuff like that can take you a long way, and you build relationships with people because they see that you're not a selfish player. You're all about the team, no matter what he was going through. Some of the injuries that he was battling that the people on the outside didn't even know nothing about. Whether he had an ankle injury, he had his knee, was going bone on bone, because some of the cartilage and stuff, in the joints and everything had to went away. And he was battling some injuries. His last, like 4 or 5 years, he was battling some injuries, a lot. And nobody knew about that but us in the locker room. But he would never tell you that. He still, like, coaches would tell him, he didn't have to practice. He would still go to practice every day. He still worked hard every day. He take no days off. And it was, like I said, it was just impressive to watch him every day. I mean, you know, the coolest part was just to see how big he was when he was out there on the field. You know, it was crazy because it was like you watching him and like this dude, they call him Megatron for a reason. Like, look how big he is when he out there on the field. Like, he was just aggressive too. It's crazy, man. But yeah, it was a pleasure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I gotta add a little pointer. You do like those. You said those last 4 or 5 years he was dealing with a lot of injuries. Do you think that was the reason why he kind of like suddenly like retired? I mean, a lot of people kind of figured that, but you know, he retired very young. So do you think that played a big part in it?
That was a big part of why he retired. I mean, it was one of the reasons why, because I mean, we all, you know, we all friends, so we all had a chance to talk to him and see, you know, why he wanted to retire. You know, and I got autographed gloves, you know, from him. I got autographed gloves from Big Ben. You know, when I talked to him and I asked him, I said, man, why you retired so early? He said, Steph, you knew I was hurting, man. And he said at the same time, they was putting so much pressure on me to make all these plays. And they gave me a little bit of help, but they didn't give me enough. You know, he said, and he told me this out of his own mouth. He's like, I don't want to be every target every time we drop back. I don't want to be the first look all the time. Let me be on the backside. Let me run somebody off, or let me do something else besides get the ball all the time, because now they're keying on me, and then I got to run these routes so hard. And it just took a toll on his body. And he was like, before I let them beat me down and have me when I can't walk, I'm going to retire. So he said, you know, he just walked away from it. He said, I want to walk away from the game when I want to. And he did.
Yeah. John, I mean, a lot of people have called for him to maybe make a comeback, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Nah, he's not making a comeback. You know, I know that for a fact. You know, when I talked to Nate I talked to him like a couple of days, maybe like a week ago. And we talked about that, like, you know, when they said he was gonna make a comeback, and he was like, I reached out to him. He was like, man, he ain't finna make no comeback, man. He was like, the only way he make a comeback is if he go to another team, because he didn't want to come back to Detroit.
Yeah,
because,
I heard him.
You know, he was like, man, it just was too much pressure on him, and sometimes you just need a new scenery, man. Just a change of scenery would be good. You know, just like I said with Matthew Stafford, his time in Detroit is up. You know, if he gonna play another, you know, 4 or 5 years, he need to do that somewhere else, because his time in Detroit is just up. You know, 10 years, 11 years in Detroit, and you haven't done anything but went to 2 playoff games and lost both of those. And one of the years I was there, you know, it might be time for just a change for you.
I agree with that. I was a big advocate of getting Matt Stafford out of there. I wanted to see him over in New England because I think he's a very talented quarterback, and I feel like the Detroit front office has kind of failed him. And so I think going to a team like New England would have been perfect for him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say New England, but it is a couple of other teams out there that I feel like would fit. I thought he would have looked pretty good with the Dolphins because he can still move. He's still mobile. And he got a nice strong arm, and he has you got some talented receivers that is with the Dolphins right now. And you got a couple of other teams too that can fit his style of quarterback play. But you know, sometimes it's hard to be with one team for 10 plus years. I mean, you only got probably a handful of guys that played with the same team. You know, Ray Lewis did it. I mean, even some of the greats. I mean, Emmitt Smith didn't do it. Jerry Rice didn't do it. Tom Brady ain't finna do it. Peyton Manning ain't do it. You know, Hall of Famers that they didn't play with their same team for their whole career. You know, what Terrell Suggs, like it's crazy, but that is football. That's how it is. So, and like I was telling my oldest son, like, don't take it personal, because it's just it's always business. It's never personal. Sometimes it's personal. Sometimes it is. Sometimes coaches just don't like you for some reason, and you don't know why. And that's personal, which it shouldn't even be like that. But what can you do, man? The only thing you can do is go out there and play the game, have fun, and go home and sleep at night.
Personal, like maybe David Johnson last season.
Yeah, he he did good, but he had that one solid year, and after that, he's been hurt, and you know, it's crazy. I don't want to jump off topic, but I'm gonna just bring this up real quick, because everybody always posting stuff on their Instagram, and they always be talking about, like, if they put a picture up of somebody, they be like, he the GOAT, he the GOAT, he the GOAT. And me and one of my friends was talking about that, and I was like, when y'all consider the GOAT is not 1 year, it's not one play, it's not 2 years, it's not a couple plays, it's consistent year. It's like you got to put phenomenal numbers up every year to consider yourself as being a GOAT. Not just I go out there, I had one good year, I had one good play, or I had, one good game. No. And I think they just use the word just to say it, but sometimes I don't think they know the meaning behind it. Like when you call somebody the GOAT, that's consistency. Like every time you put his numbers up, if he had 1,200 yards for 7 years, and then that one bad season, he had like 1,000 yards and maybe 900 and some yards, he still was right there. He probably could have got hurt, or he got a different quarterback, or they keyed on him or something like that. That's when you got to consider somebody being the GOAT. You can't just say, oh, he the GOAT. Nah, man. But that's just my take on it. And, just want to throw that out there.
Hey, GOAT is a big topic these days in every single sport. NFL, I mean, everybody always talks about who it is. And I think, obviously, some people might over-exaggerate some players because they don't have as much long-term success,
right.
year after year, like you're saying.
It's year after year. It's not 1 year. It's not one game. It's multiple years, consistency of what you're doing for me to consider you as being the GOAT at your position. Not just he did I mean, even like Garoppolo. He had that nice year. Last year he went to the Super Bowl, and the year before he got hurt, they went 6-0. And then you pay him all that money. They did Jared Goff the same way. Y'all paying these guys that haven't even, put in quality years, that was successful all these years. That's the only thing that bothers me about the NFL now is it's a contest of who gonna get paid the most, like Dak Prescott. I mean, Dak, come on, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, how you want to be the highest paid quarterback and you weren't even in the top? You weren't even a first round pick. You was a fourth round pick. Come on, man.
He has won one playoff game. One
playoff game.
And I'm not even a Cowboy fan. I just watch football. It's crazy. You turning down $35 million or $33 million, whatever it is, just to be the highest paid, to get more of a bullseye on your back. No, that's dumb. But who am I to say anything?
Yeah.
I'm just somebody that played 13 years of, 5 years in Canada, 8 years in CFL.
You mentioned GOAT. Who would you say your GOAT running back is of all time?
Oh man, of course, man. Barry Sanders, man.
Okay, good.
Barry, that was my idol when I was young. Like I wanted to be everything Barry Sanders was. The only thing I didn't want was his number. I didn't want number 20 because I always was a single digit guy. I always loved the single digit because of my frame. Single digit sits right in the middle. But I always, even when I went to Detroit, I was like, man, I gotta meet him. I always wanted to meet him, shake his hand, and just tell him, like, you were somebody that I watched when I was a kid growing up, and I always wanted to be exactly like him because his frame, his stature, his ability, his moves, everything he did was just like mine. So, I was kind of, I say just like his. So, he was my idol when I was growing up. As far as sports, my idol was my mom and my dad. Somebody I always looked up to. But for sports, he was somebody I always watched. And, no matter what nobody said, he still went out there each and every week and gave it 120%.
Definitely.
So regarding your career, we had to ask, what do you think is your most proud moment as a pro?
My most proud moment as a pro, I would say, was number one is before my dad passed away this year, he got a chance to see me live my dream and something that he wanted me to do when I was young. He always told me that you will make it to the NFL as long as you be coachable and you work your tail off, you're going to get there. So that is one of my proudest moments to have my parents see me from beginning to the end play professional ball. And that's one of my proudest moments. My other proudest moment, of course, was when I finally made the team in 2009 with the Pittsburgh Steelers after I ran back a punt. That was probably one of the the proudest moments, of a guy that wanted to play football all his life to finally make it after getting in trouble and getting kicked out of school, playing 1 year of high school, and going to a Division II University of South Dakota in the middle of nowhere, and finally came out on top. All the naysayers were saying you wasn't gonna make it, you weren't gonna do this, you weren't gonna do that, too small, this, that, you went to a small school, and I finally made it. So those are proud moments for me.
I was going to say another one I was thinking of was that 105-yard kickoff return touchdown you had. What was it, 2011 or 2010?
That was 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. It was pretty good, I mean, that was a great game. That was a great time. But at the same time, that wasn't even my proudest moment. That was just something that I was supposed to do. And like I said, that wasn't even my proudest moment. Like a lot of people, they think about it, they talk about it, they tell me about it. But I'm like, my proudest moment was just, coming out of that tunnel, my first game ever coming out. His family's there. The crowd is going crazy. You just looking around. You like, oh my God, I'm finally here. And you're trying to keep them, keep your stomach and keep yourself under control because the anxiety is unbelievable, man. Just your body just and I get just trembling and it's just like, oh my God, like you want to pass out. But it's a humbling experience. It's a great experience. It's a fun and exciting experience. You just got to be able to adapt to the situation because you're moving from going to high school, going to college to to a professional football team to now you're going to be making hundreds of thousands, some millions of dollars to carry some pigskin. So, yeah.
That's a good answer.
All right. So you have a slogan, age is only a number. What does that kind of mean? Can you explain that?
I started that. It's funny. I started that a long time ago. Like, man, I think I probably was like 30. I'm 39 now. I just had a birthday. I probably started that when I was like 30, like 32. And I kept saying it because every team I went to after I got past 30, they always kept saying, oh, he's getting older. He's getting older. He's getting older. He's getting older. But every year I was in the top 3 or the top 2 as the best returner. So then I just came up with it. I was like, man, age is only a number. Like, why y'all keep worrying about how old I am? Worry about how productive I am when I'm on the field. Don't worry about how old I am. So then I just came out and I just kept saying it all the time. I was like, man, age is only a number. Like, that's all it is. It's just a number. I'm still out there. I mean, when I post the videos, I'm out there running around with, when I posted a video the other day.
Yeah, like 26, 25-year-olds or whatever.
Yeah, I'm out there running around with guys that's, 25, 26 years old, some playing Canada. I'm 39. I'm still out there running around with those guys. So, and like I tell them, like, age is only a number. Don't let an age dictate whether you're gonna stop playing football or you too old to do this, you too old to do that. No. Now you could be too young to do some things. You can also be too old to do some things, depending on what it is. So that's my motto. Age is only a number. That's all it is. So don't let that stop you from doing nothing that you want to do. That's that's what I firmly believe in.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, people's bodies kind of react differently. They age differently. So it's not something that's like set in stone, like, oh, you can't play football once you're 35 or 40. Like, there's nothing that says you can't do that. It's just kind of how your body reacts.
Thank you. Nobody said you can't do it. God ain't telling you can't do it. That's what they make you believe you can't do it. The NFL, which is the one that brainwashes everybody, they the ones that's, as a running back, when you hit 30, he gonna start declining. No, look at Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson finna be 37, 38. And he had a run last year. He broke for 70 yards and took it the distance. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the same running back as he was when he was 26. Well, not even 26, but I'm going to say 29, 30. But he's going to be, 37 or something like that? And he's still running with aggressiveness. He's still running with determination. He's still running with passion. why try to take that away from him just because how old he is? Now you can decline some of his, some of his plays and his reps. You can do that, but don't take the game away from him just because he's up in age now. Like I just feel like that's just, I hate when they do that, But like I said, age is on their number, and I always and that's, I had my hat, but it's upstairs, and it say age is on their number. Like I got my shirt say age is on their number. I don't sell them or nothing like that. That's just my own little thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's how I look at it.
That's cool. I like that.
And like just a couple other NFL players I was just thinking of, just off the top of my head, like look at Frank Gore. He's way up there in age too. Look at Larry Fitzgerald. These guys are way up in age, and they're still playing at especially Larry Fitzgerald. He's still playing at a really high level.
Still playing at a high level. Playing at a high level. I mean, I got a chance to play against him, and I got a chance to play against all those guys. Frank Gore, Larry Fitzgerald, and Adrian Peterson. I got a chance to play against all those guys, and they still putting up numbers. I mean, as a running back, of course, your play might start declining a little bit because it's a different position. You're taking more hits, more pressure. You're running in between the tackles, going against linebackers and D linemen, and blocking a corner every now and then, which you're not really too worried about. But it's, it's another thing. It's all in your mind, man. It's in your mind for whatever you want to do. If you put your mind to it, you'll get it done. If you're weak-minded, then you might as well just go sit on the sideline because you already done lost. So, that's how I always look at it. And that's another reason why when I'm out there on the field running, I always know it's in my mind that I can still get out here and run. I can still get out here and run these ladders. I can still catch the football. I can still catch a punt. I said I was going to time myself on the 40, and see what I would run now. And I'm willing to bet I can still run you probably a high 4.4 in the 40. I'm going to time myself too.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that on your Instagram. In the next
I'm going to post it, so of course. Oh, yeah.
So we were just obviously talking about, like, your main slogan there, age only number. But one of the questions we wanted to ask was, what made you start playing football? Like, what made you fall in love with this game?
My brother did. My oldest brother, Stefan Logan. He got me into it. He's one of my biggest fans too. Like, I didn't even know that until, probably like a few years ago. I didn't know how much of a fan he was of his little brother. And he went out to play football, and I didn't want to play. I was like, I don't want to play no organized team activities. I didn't want to get hit. And I just knew it was painful. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But he went out, he signed up, and when you're the little brother, you want to be like the big brother. I mean, I'm the big little brother. I'm younger than him in age, but I'm bigger than him in size. It's crazy. And I wanted to be like my big brother. So when I went out there, it was just, I wanted to be like him. And that's what made me start playing football. Like it was because of my brother that wanted to play. I didn't care. Like to play street football, I could play that all day. But to play organized team football at a park, I didn't want to do it. I was afraid. I didn't want to be hit. I was afraid of the coaches. I didn't want nobody yelling at me or nothing like that. So my brother's the one that got me into playing football.
Yep. Seems like a lot of times it's a family member or just somebody that you're friends with, that, or a brother, obviously, that like you sort of follow into a sport in the beginning, and then the love for the game just kind of comes from that, straight from that, and then it kind of flows through.
And then once I got out there, I was, as you can see,
realized you were better than everybody.
I was better than everybody, and I was actually better than my brother. My brother was faster than me until that one time, and he'll tell you this too. He can attest to this. It was that one time we was coming home from the park, and they say when them lights come on, you better be getting to the house. And we was coming home, and we used to always race from the corner to the house. And we did that every time we would come home, walk home together. We would do that. We'd be like, ready, go, and we just take off. And it was just one time, after about probably like 10, 11 races, he was like, you ready? And I knew what he meant. As soon as he said, like, you ready? And he was like, go, and we took off. And I beat him. and he was looking at me like in shock that I beat him. And I didn't lose him ever since. I never lost to him after that. You know, we got home. He was actually like, "You actually beat me running." I was like, "Yeah, I did, didn't I?" I was all excited, and I didn't lose no more after that to him. I beat him every time.
How old were you when you finally beat him?
Oh man, I had to be what? I want to say maybe 14, 15, something like that.
Okay.
Or something like that. Like, we was young, you know. We just kept racing. And at one time, I just took off running. I had the head back, arms all over everywhere. I'm talking about just running, and I won. And it was kind of like a proud moment, you know what I'm saying? Because I finally beat my big brother or something. And couldn't beat him in fight and nothing like that, but I beat him in a race. So I was like, I got this on something. So, you know, that was good.
Yeah, sibling rivalries are always fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What other questions we got here? So what you were able to have success at the college level and the pro level. What would you say is the biggest difference, and what was the reason why you were able to have success at both levels?
I would say in college, you know, I had a lot of success in college because I was playing my position. I've been a running back, you know, through my whole career until I got to the NFL. When I got to the NFL, that's when they moved me to wide receiver and made me a punt returner. When I was in college, I didn't do no returns. I did my senior year, I did like maybe 2 punt returns that whole year, and I did 2 or 3 kickoff returns that whole year, just to get footage for the NFL. But I never did it. You know, little league, I didn't do it. I think I did it in little league, but I didn't do punt returns. I just did kick return like some games because I was a starting running back, so I was gonna get the ball pretty much every play. You know, so you know, in college was just I had a whole lot of fun in college. I mean, just the game was so much easier because it was all about football and it wasn't a business. Now, NFL business, it's not fun anymore. It's all about,
no fun league.
No, it's a no fun league. You know, it's like now we paying you $5 million, $6 million, $10 million a year. You better go out there and do this. You know, in college, you ain't got to worry about that. You know, even if now that he's saying these college players, they just, you know, pass this thing where the college players can get paid in college, which I think is going to hurt the college, you know, atmosphere is going to hurt the college, you know, players, and it's going to hurt for them going to the NFL because if you paying them in college, when they get to the NFL, they might already have a couple $100,000 because if you at a major D1, you're going to get paid some good money. Go to the NFL and be like, I'm good. I don't need to do this. So I think that's going to hurt them a little bit, you know, if they don't put a cap on it. But just success, you know, in college, and then I translated, you know, over to the pros, you know, it was different because I was going to a whole new position. You know, if I want to say it was, you know, being a running back and then going to play wide receiver, I didn't have as much fun in the NFL as I did when I was in Canada. I mean, not in Canada, but in college, because I played running back. Then when I got to the NFL, they put me at, you know, wide receiver. So I was learning a whole new position. I had to learn the route tree. I had to learn steps. I had to learn yards. Like, I had to learn how to sink my hips, how to use my hands to catch a ball. It was just, you know, it was just awful. You know, I didn't really enjoy my 5 years in the NFL. I didn't enjoy it like I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't as fun to me as I thought it would be. I mean, of course, everybody loved the money and stuff like that and all the perks, which is great. But playing, I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have, as much as I would have liked to if they would let me play my position at running back instead of putting me at wide receiver.
So I gotta ask, was it more fun to play in the CFL than you would say?
Yeah, I would say it is a little bit. It's more fun to play in the CFL as a returner because just the same amount of carries that a running back is going to get, I'm gonna get as a returner because the CFL is a passing league. So if I'd have been some games where the running back only got like 5, 6 carries, and I had like 5, 6 returns. And I mean, one game I had the most I've had as far as returns in one game, I think was 13. Who was getting out behind whooped, of course.
Yeah.
So I had like 7, 8 kickoff returns, had like 4 punt returns. I was like, man, what's going on? We getting whooped out because when you get that many kickoff returns, that know y'all losing.
They're scoring.
And, yeah, they scoring. So I think that was the most I've had in one game was like 13 returns in one game combined, whether it's kick return and punt return.
Mm-hmm.
But you got more of a chance to break a long one. You got you got the 5-yard halo rule. They got to give you 5 yards for you to catch the ball, and you got a big field, so y'all can run any return you want. You can run field return, middle return, boundary return because you got a whole sideline to work with. Set up nice blocks, nice schemes, tunnels, however you want to put it, man. I like it better, as far as playing football. I like it better in Canada, as far as playing, return and stuff like that. NFL, the return game has just been taken away.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse every year. They're changing all the rules, and people aren't even returning kicks as much anymore because coaches are like, no, we'll just take it at the 25.
Just taking it at 25. Y'all taking food out that man's mouth because he's training, working hard the whole off season just to get back there and kneel the ball in his zone for just they're gonna take it at the 20, 25, whatever it is. Why? Like, the only person that I see they let do that is Cordell Patterson. He's the only one.
He always returns.
They let him bring it out. He'd be 8-9 yards deep. He bringing it out because they trust him. But you got to get the other guys opportunity as well. And if you got a powerful offense, it shouldn't matter where y'all started. Put some pressure on that offense and let them move the ball a little bit. If I don't get to the 20 or 25 or whatever the case may be, but
most guys could return easily to the 20 to 25. Just because there's so much room in the field, like at the start.
Yeah.
So like you got to at least let them try and break a couple loose. But sometimes you watch a game and you see like 5-6 straight kickoff returns. Just kneel it, take it to the 25. And
just kneel. You might as well not try to catch that part of the game because special teams has been taken away from the game because of they talk about concussions and stuff like that. You go back and do the statistics, I'm sure they probably got the same amount of concussion that they had in the last 5 years and they had in the last 10 years. I don't think it's that much of a difference. I think it's, people talk about the helmets and no, that ain't concussions. It ain't no way of stopping the concussion. Like, first of all, let me tell you, first and foremost, what guys need to do is they need to make sure they wear a mouthpiece. That's where they're going wrong at because you biting down on your teeth and it's rattling your brain and everything. So it's like, no, wear a mouthpiece first of all. And the helmet plays a big part of it as well. But, not wearing that mouthpiece is key. You need that.
Yeah, I do see a lot of players not wear that sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially like on kickoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we got 2 more questions here for you. So the one thing I wanted to ask, I'm a big Steelers fan, and I know you played for the Steelers for 1 year, and I know you talked a little bit earlier about that glove from Big Ben that you got signed. So I just wanted to ask you a quick question. What did you think about Big Ben? Like, you got to play with him for 1 year. Did you get to know him well?
Yeah. I got a chance to get to know him. I got a chance to talk to him, sit in the cafeteria. We sit there and talk about life and talk about football and when he had his accident on the motorcycle and all the other stuff. You don't want to get too personal and stuff like that. But I mean, he was a decent dude. He wasn't he wasn't an a-hole like people may think.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a bad dude at all. He came to practice every day. He worked hard. He joked around like you should. And he was a quarterback. He was a captain. So of course he's gonna be somewhat of a DIC kid, if you want to say, but that's just the role that they have to take. But he wasn't a bad dude at all to me. I thought he was pretty cool, solid quarterback. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. He's got been in 2-3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So can't deny his play. You can't deny him as a person. You can't deny him as a man and what he do on the field and bring to the team. So, I thought he was a good dude.
Yeah, I was just saying, it seems like Antonio Brown disagrees with everybody about Big Ben.
He just disagrees with everybody because of what's going on in his situation. But, as you can see with his situation, you see where it got him at home. So he signed with another team. Kudos to him. I'm not saying I don't want him to be out there on the football.
I love AB, but as a player.
One of his guys that trained him for like his first 4 years, me and him is good friends. And we all we cycle together. We all got the road bikes, so we be cycling and everything. And we actually cycled Tuesday. And me and him was talking about that as we was riding. He was talking about, just the training, just AB, how he used to work and how hard he worked. And he came in and just, just talking about football, man. Just getting in depth with it. As we ride that bike, doing, we were going slow at the time. So, but that was AB. That's on him. Hopefully get it together and get back in the league.
Yeah.
2-3 more years to be done with it.
For sure.
So you played running back most of your career, so you have a lot of experience there. Who would you say is the best running back in the NFL right now?
The best running back in the NFL right now,
Yeah.
I would have to give it to that boy McCaffrey. I would have. He has been solid, and he's been consistent every year, and he can do it all. Man, he can block, he can run, he's fast, he got good hands out of the backfield, got great vision. And I mean, if you had to go down the line, I mean, I would go with him. I would go with I like Alvin Kamara. I think he's a real solid running back.
Mm-hmm.
I like the boy for Green Bay, number 33. I forgot his name.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I like him. He's a solid running back, nice and solid. He gets in there, gets dirty when he needs to, and somebody else that's right at the tip of my tongue that I think is a pretty solid running back that can
Saquon.
Saquon is pretty good too. He's pretty good. He just had a bad year last year, but he's a solid running back as well. You got a couple of them out there, man. You don't want to, not name them because right now at the top of your mind you kind of forget about with the NFL what's going on right now, so you can't think everybody's name. But you got some solid running backs out there. But I would have to give it to McCaffrey right now. He's pretty solid.
Perfect. Yeah, Justin's a big Derrick Henry fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Derrick Henry guy.
Derrick Henry, and I don't even like big running backs, but yeah, Derrick Henry. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to forget some guys. Derrick Henry is nice. He is very nice. I was, who else I was a big fan of? Todd Gurley. I thought he was really good until he got that in. When he heard that knee,
arthritis killed his game. Yeah,
I like. He had good speed. He had good power. Catch the ball. He had great vision. But that knee injury kind of slowed him down, man. It just, it's crazy, man, how this stuff works. But, we're going to see with some of these new running backs that's coming out as well and see what they're going to do.
Definitely.
All these,
the running back position is very loaded right now in the NFL.
It is very loaded.
All right. Well, that seems like a good place to end the show.
I got one more.
Oh, you got one more, Justin?
Yeah, one more. Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl next year? I know it's early, but who's your pick?
Because you got some new players out there. You got some new faces. You got some new teams, I think. That's going to be tough. I mean, I don't want to go with KC just because they won it last year. But as far as team-wise, I would have to go with them again because they didn't change very much. They added a receiver. They added a running back.
Yep.
They added another safety. So they have an all-around solid team. So I would have to go with KC again because of what they're doing and what they did over the last 2 years with that boy Pat Mahomes at QB, man. He's nice back there.
That's so good.
Controlling the helm, he's nice. So even as a young quarterback, he gets it done. So I would have to go with KC again. Might have a surprise. You might have Baltimore Ravens. You might have some couple of sleepers that's gonna come out. You might have Buffalo. Buffalo got a nice team too.
Thank you.
Yeah, Justin's high on the Bills this year.
Buffalo is a sleeper, and I picked them to go further than they did last year. They just let me down when they got to the playoffs. I was like, what?
Me too.
I picked them to win, to go to at least to the third round of the playoffs.
AFC Championship. Yeah,
but they let me down. They let me down. Oh, I was mad because I knew they was going to be the Texans. The Texans won, but
they should have won that game.
They should have. They was winning. It was good.
They were up big. I think Deshaun Watson happened.
Yeah, they blew it. But, yeah, there's a couple of sleepers out there. I always say, man, keep your eyes open because there's going to be something special that's going to happen this year with some of these teams.
Yeah, I think when you talk about sleeper, I think like with the situation with possibly no fans, we could see like some really bizarre stuff happen in the playoffs. Yeah. I mean, with the no fans thing, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have some fans out there, but
I agree.
I hope.
Hopefully.
I mean, right now, I mean, like I said, you gotta wait your time, man. You gotta wait this thing out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's tough and everything that's going on. I mean, you can't rush it because what can you do? It's
Exactly.
in the air. It's not like, you know, in your house, or I mean, it's in your house too, because you know, walking outside, coming back in, but it's in the air. You know, what can you do? You know,
You
it's
can't.
different. Can't do nothing. The only thing you can do is
Mhm.
wear your mask, wash your hands, and wait.
Yes, exactly. See the light at the end of the tunnel.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. The world is too many people. There's too much going on for not to be light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, now it actually seems like a good time to end the show. So, Stefan Logan, thank you for coming on, man. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Follow this man on Twitter and Instagram. Some of your Instagram videos are crazy. He's playing with 25, 26-year-olds, and he's right
Great
there
content.
with them. So make sure you give him a follow. And once again, thanks, man.
Man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. Y'all have a blessed day, brother.
Thanks.
Thank you.